Hey Taurus, so welcome to your monthly reading. So this is for August 2023 for Taurus rising or sun signs. So this is the more extended of the readings. I thought I had it. So this is different than the short and sweet little bi-weekly-ish readings that I do. Although because we have the full moon happening on August 1st, those videos will also be out along with these monthly videos, and those are short and sweet little, like how more focused on about a 2-week period. There we go. So this one we're going to be taking a look at, you know, what major theme is coming up, what major area of life is being kind of highlighted along with the beginning, middle, and end of the month, and also what kind of challenge and divinatory guidance advice we can glean from this. So trying to feel into which deck I want to use. I'm going to use this deck. Also, the astrological highlights video for the first half of August, that is also up. I will have a link for that. I'll link that video at the end of this video. It will have timestamps, so you can go ahead and, feeling that card, but not this card. You can go ahead and check that out. And like I said, it's got timestamps, so that way you can kind of come back to it throughout the first half of August, whenever those dates are, to, you know, listen to those or listen to it all at once, up to you. So we have some interesting astrology that's actually happening this month. I won't really get into it so much here because these videos are typically around 15 minutes, so I want to make sure that we don't spend extra time with that. So Taurus, what do we have going on for the end of the month for you? Nope, I was feeling that, but I'm not. So, all right. There is some interesting stuff. We do have some nice astrology, like one day in the middle of the month that I'm pretty stoked about, I have to say. So definitely check out the video if you want to know about August 13th and what we've got going on there. That's one to mark on your calendar. I'm feeling that one for the challenge. Okay. And then what kind of spiritual advice do we have for you? I'm feeling this card here. Okay. Sweet. All right, Taurus. So, I don't know if I've used this deck for Taurians before. Is my camera crooked? Forgive me if that's a little bit crooked. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's take a look at what kind of theme is coming up. So we've got the first house. The first house is what's up for you, right? First house has to do with the self, right? This is all about the self. This is about how we explore in life, how we go forward in life. It has to do with our body. This is when we arrive into the world. This is when we're born. That's what determines, like, it's in our first house. So this has a lot to do with, like, how we identify and, just like very self-focused, which reminds me of, like, because we have the nodes in the Aries Libra axis, and so we've got like the North Node happening in Aries, which is very much like the Aries sign is associated with the first house. And it's just like such that kind of energy of, because the North Node is there, there's a ton of like energy that is an abundance of energy that's there. So it's almost like that energy is really getting activated for you Taurians. Now, of course, this is a collective reading, so if this doesn't resonate this particular month, just know that some months are going to hit and some months are not. If it doesn't hit, it's not your message this month. If it does, then obviously it's resonant for a reason. If you're looking at your sun sign, go check out your rising sign. As always, like, if you really want to get specific, the best way to do that is to get an actual personal one-to-one reading. If you want to do that, I am accepting bookings right now, and the description has that information. So that's what we have going on for you. It's a me first, and not in a selfish way. Like, this is just a very me-focused kind of reading. So let's take a look at what we've got throughout the month. So we've got the sun in the beginning of the month. I like that. We've got the 4 of coins in the middle of the month, and we have the 4 of cups, interesting, at the end of the month. Challenge being the hermit, and the 9 of swords coming in for the advice. So let's go through these one by one. We're starting the beginning of the month with the sun card. And, as far as cards go, As far as identity goes too, like with dealing with like first house type of topics, right? Like the self, the identity, the sense of self, being self-directed as well. The sun is definitely, representative of that, but also the sun card has to do with this. It's like this really beautiful enjoyment of life. It's like remembering what it feels like to be unencumbered by the responsibilities of adulting and to feel free, usually naked, free, bareback on a horse in the middle of like this beautiful day, sunflowers. It's just very freeing and very joyful and very like abundant in beautiful like blessings, right? So the beginning of this month, I feel like there are some reasons to feel this way. Perhaps you're stepping into the beginning of this month and you're like, I'm really feeling into myself, or you might be feeling like, I really need to take a break from just the grind, and I need to remember what it feels like to actually be in this space, to slow down and be in nature, for instance, to just enjoy life, to let my forehead relax and my shoulders like set down, and to step away from the computer screen and to just be in life, to enjoy that, and to remember what it feels like to have that kind of freedom. When we're in this kind of energy, there is this kind of sense of awe that we have about the world, like this curiosity comes back, this desire to interact and engage with the world around us, and maybe with people, maybe not, but like to be present to it, to remember that there's so much more to life, and to be inside of this kind of curiosity, awe-inspired kind of feeling about life and ourselves. So I hope that makes sense. It's like often I will get these feelings, and sometimes to try and translate into words is a little more challenging than other times. So in the middle of the month, we have the Four of Coins, so I think that for some of you, you've reached this place of feeling like, okay, I've had to work really hard to establish some sense of security on some level, and I don't want anything to disturb that, right? Almost like I need to hold on to the security or the stability that I have been able to acquire and to create. And I like it here. This feels safe. It feels grounded and safe and solid. Whether that be with finances or with your sense of self, or, just in general, right? Like you've gotten to a place in life where maybe things are feeling like, even if they're not at the pinnacle of where you want them to be, it's like, okay, I've like gotten this far, right? Like things are at least this stable. And it's almost like, I'm afraid to have anything come in and disturb it. And so you want to be careful that you're not blocking any kinds of opportunities or experiences in life because of being too concerned about things being shaken up, right? Like if there's anything that's constant, we all know this, it's change. And so we need to remember that along with the process of life, we get to like these, it's almost kind of like, when people scale a mountain, I don't know if you've seen documentaries about that. It's like, okay, they get to a place and, they set up camp, or it's like a base camp or something like that, right? And then they get to the next pinnacle and then the next, right? And so there is this kind of like, okay, we're stable now, but now we got to progress. And so I just want to encourage you guys to say like, okay, let me recognize like where things have stability, but also let me not be maybe kind of like too guarded or miserly about holding on and holding tight to it staying a certain way. And that can look like, being kind of reserved or guarded or holding on too tightly or blocking because of maybe not wanting to spend finances, which I'm not saying that you should just go be extravagant, especially during a Venus retrograde. I'm going to say like that's a smart idea, but like, maybe the way that you spend your time, energy, attention, or who you let into that, or what opportunities you like entertain. So I would say like that's just something to be aware of as you go through and progress through the month. The last part of the month, what we have showing up is the Four of Cups. So Four of Cups energy, again, is like, it's kind of interesting because it's pointing to almost like your, whoever you believe in, universe, angels, guides, spirit guides, whatever. It's like there are assisters, like people who are trying to, or beings or whatever energy that's trying to assist you on your path. And it's almost like either you're oblivious to it and you're not really seeing it. So you need to like widen your perspective, like widen your gaze so that you're able to actually recognize and see those opportunities and gifts that are being presented to you. Or there is this like rejection of it. Like things don't look the way that I want them to look and they don't feel the way I want them to. So therefore, like I'm rejecting these opportunities and these other things. Like it doesn't know, it's like this one doesn't, it just doesn't look and feel the way I want it to, right? Whereas like maybe that's a stepping stone to get you where you need to go. The last thing I'll say about this is for like any Taurians who are, and I don't want to like, I'm not throwing shade, I'm not casting every Taurus as this. I'm just saying like every sign has awesome traits and the ones that are like more shadowy. And one of those ones can be like, I want to just stay in like chill land. And the Four of Cups can show up like, I don't really want to do anything right now. Like being kind of complacent, like things are good enough. It's fine. Like, I don't want to take advantage of those opportunities. I don't want to like move forward. I just want to like, I'm kind of like complacent. I'm kind of maybe even a little bit bored by maybe a situation in your life or by life in general for you. It's like, so these are the different themes. I like, again, it's a collective reading. So I like to give all of the interpretations that are coming through at this particular moment so that you guys can take from that what resonates, right? So yeah, I would say widen your gaze, widen your perspective. Even if you don't take advantage of and take action of certain opportunities, it's good to at least recognize, entertain, consider them, even if it's only ever internally, even if it's only ever in your most private of private times and when you're alone in your own thoughts in your journal. But do take the time to like open up yourself to the possibility that something could actually be more beneficial than you might see on the outset, like on the front end, right? So that's what we have showing up for you throughout the month. As far as the challenge, we have the Hermit card showing up with the challenge, you know, and it's like, so there are a couple of things that come through with this. I mean, this is just such a meaningful card and there's a lot that comes through. I think for some of you, it might be that you are really secluding yourself, right? Like trying to hold on to that stability, not really like wanting to maybe see or take advantage of certain opportunities perhaps, or, you know, just like kind of and hermiting away, and or maybe like hiding in some way. But also the hermit being in the challenge position could be like you're not really like accessing and asking yourself the big picture questions. You're not really doing the internal reflection that would actually help you and give you clarity about how to move forward and what to do next. In fact, it might give you clarity around like what some of these opportunities are and what you could be doing with them. But it's going to require that you actually don't run from yourself. Not that you're running specifically, maybe it's not exactly what I mean to say, but more so just that you're not avoiding that very important downtime that is solitary to ask yourself the important questions. What is aligned with me currently? Like, are the people around me, my friends, my connections, the people I choose to work with, if you have that choice, my partner, whatever, are these things like, are all these people aligned with my values? Are my values still my values, or have any of those changed? What is it that I want to create going forward? What do I want to be doing with my life? Is it still the same as it was last year? Maybe something has shifted and changed in like how the vision now is unfolding and how I want that to look and feel. So asking yourself these questions about like, what does stability mean for you at this point? What opportunities do you actually really want to entertain? What kinds of things feel like, how do you want to feel in life? How do you want life to be experienced? Right? So so that's part of what's coming up. And like, and it's interesting because the spiritual advice, the, you know, divinatory guidance advice that's coming through is the Nine of Swords, which is just like, hey, some of you out there need to stop worrying. Like, enough. Like, you're probably worrying about things that are not so deserving of zapping so much of your time and energy, like your mental energy or emotional energy. Like, this is, you know, it's kind of like when this card comes up as an advice card, I just really see it as like like, hey, you're really worrying and overthinking and like putting too much into like your concerns or your worries, either about the future or about like what it is that's in front of you. And it's really not so bad. It's really not deserving of that. So like kind of see if you can create some space, take a step back from that, and just like see that it doesn't, like, it's not so, not that it's not so serious, like, because life can feel especially if it's important to you, right? But more so that it's like, it's not, it doesn't have to be experienced this way. It doesn't have to be this stressful. It doesn't have to be this way. You know, there is another way to work with this energy that doesn't require you having like anxiety and worry and like having sleepless nights or insomnia or like whatever version of how that's showing up for you, right? So so that's what's coming up, Taurus. Like, I hope that this was helpful, and if it was, please consider giving the video a like. It does help me with having this video please the algorithm gods so that I can have more reach and really build this channel. Also, if while you're at it, why not subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're aware of any videos that come out. So I will have up on the screen, if it's not already, the video for the astrological highlights for the first half of August. And also remember that along with these videos, on the same day, the videos for the full moon to new moon, the bi-weekly videos, those are like usually about 5-ish minutes long. Those videos will also be out. So lots of content at the beginning of this month. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.